As we grow older, something interesting begins to happen. The things that once kept us up at night, the opinions of others, the pressure to prove ourselves, the constant urge to please, start to lose their grip on us. We begin to feel something many of us never expected, a sense of peace. Not because life becomes easier, but because we become different. We care less, but not in a cold or careless way. We care differently. You might notice it in the little things. You no longer feel the need to argue with someone who misunderstands you. You don't bother keeping up with every trend or every piece of gossip. You stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. And for the first time in a long time, you feel free. That freedom, that lightness, that soft smile you sometimes catch on your own face when you sit in silence. That is the gift of growing older. In this video, we're going to explore a powerful idea, that the less you care about the wrong things, the more happiness you allow into your life. We'll talk about how this shift happens, why it matters, and how you can embrace it more fully, no matter your age. So whether you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or beyond, this message is for you. Because peace, joy, and freedom aren't things you find in the outside world. They come from within. And sometimes they begin with simply letting go. Let's begin with something we've all faced: expectations. From the moment we're born, expectations start piling up. Parents expect us to behave a certain way. Teachers expect us to achieve certain grades. Society expects us to look a certain way, act a certain way, live a certain way. And we spend decades trying to meet them all. You may have expected your life to look different by now. Maybe you thought you'd have more money saved, better health, stronger relationships, or a deeper sense of purpose. Or maybe you simply expected people to treat you the way you always treated them. But here's the truth that only becomes clearer with age. Expectations are the silent thieves of peace. They create a constant gap between reality and what we think reality should be. And every time something falls short, we feel disappointed. Not because of what actually happened, but because of the picture we had in our heads. Think about that for a moment. It's not the event itself that hurts. It's the expectation of how it should have gone. That's why letting go of expectations is one of the most powerful things you can do for your mental and emotional well-being. Why letting go matters when you stop expecting people to act a certain way. When you stop expecting life to unfold in a perfect line. When you stop expecting yourself to be everything to everyone. You begin to breathe. You make room for acceptance. Not as a way of giving up, but as a way of finding peace. You start to see people as they are, not as you hoped they'd be. You start to see yourself with compassion, not criticism. And slowly, the pressure begins to lift. The shift that happens with age, one of the beautiful things about growing older is that your perspective deepens. You've lived enough to know that life rarely goes according to plan. You've seen enough to realize that forcing things only creates more struggle. And maybe, just maybe, you've reached a point where you're tired of the fight. The fight to be perfect, to be accepted, to meet invisible standards. So you start letting go. And in that letting go, something magical happens. You begin to appreciate life as it is, not as you wish it were. You find joy in smaller things: a hot cup of tea, a quiet afternoon, a familiar voice on the other end of the phone. And that joy feels more real than anything you ever chased in your younger years. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. You stop holding people to unrealistic standards. You stop judging yourself by the harsh rules of your past. You stop trying to control. As the years pass, we begin to notice something very clearly. Life is already complicated enough. We don't need to add to it. In our youth, we often chase more. More excitement, more success, more stuff, more friends, more experiences. But as we grow older. Something inside us whispers a new desire. Less. Less noise, less drama, less clutter, less pressure. And what's left, when we gently strip away the unnecessary, is peace. Living simply doesn't mean living small. It means choosing clarity over chaos. It means focusing on what truly matters and letting the rest fall away. It could mean fewer commitments, but deeper relationships. It could mean a smaller home, but a warmer heart. It could mean saying no more often and yes only when it truly feels right. Simplicity is not about what you give up. It's about what you make room for: peace, clarity, ease, joy. Letting go of what no longer serves you. In this stage of life, we are gifted the clarity to ask, what do I no longer need to carry? Maybe it's physical clutter, things you've held onto out of habit, but no longer use. Maybe it's emotional baggage, grudges, regrets, expectations that weigh you down. Maybe it's toxic relationships, people who take more than they give. Letting go isn't always easy, but it is necessary because every time you release something that drains you, you create space for something that heals you. From noise to quiet, the healing gift of silence. There's a reason so many older adults find comfort in stillness. Quiet morning, a calm walk, a moment of reflection. In our younger years, silence felt uncomfortable, like something had gone wrong. But now, silence feels sacred. In the quiet, you can hear your own thoughts more clearly. You can listen to your heart without distraction. You can simply be, without needing to perform or impress. That is the beauty of simplicity. As life slows down, small moments begin to feel like magic. A warm cup of tea by the window, the laughter of a grandchild, the softness of a favorite sweater, the sunlight on your face, a deep breath fully taken. These aren't extravagant. They're not flashy or expensive, but they are real, and they're what your soul truly craves. Simplicity returns us to what matters most. Chapter 4. Setting boundaries without guilt. There comes a time in life when you realize it's not your job to please everyone, not anymore, maybe not ever. And while this truth might sound obvious, it can take a lifetime to fully accept. Why boundaries matter. More as you. Age boundaries are not walls. They're bridges to peace. They're not selfish. They're self-honoring. They tell the world, this is what I can give. This is what I cannot. And both are okay. In our younger years, we often say yes too often, out of guilt, fear, or obligation. But as we grow older, we realize that every yes costs something. And sometimes that cost is our well-being. Now we have the wisdom to be more discerning. Saying no. With grace. Here's the truth. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't need a 5-paragraph essay to justify a boundary. Sometimes, a gentle, no thank you, is enough. Or, I'm not available for that right now. Or simply, that doesn't work for me. It's not rude. It's respectful. To you and them. Because when you set a boundary, you're modeling something powerful. Self-respect. And when people see you respect yourself, they're more likely to respect you too. Guilt is not a guide. Many of us were taught to be nice, even when it meant abandoning ourselves, to keep the peace, even when it robbed our inner peace, to say yes, even when everything in us screamed no. But here's the healing truth. Feeling guilty doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Sometimes it means you're doing something different, something better, something you weren't allowed to do before, like choosing yourself. Guilt is not a compass. Let your values, your intuition, and your peace guide you instead. Boundaries. Create room for deeper connection. Ironically, when you set healthy boundaries, your relationships often grow stronger. Why? Because people can trust that when you say, "Yes, you truly mean it," they know you're not just doing it out of guilt. Your presence becomes more authentic, more whole, more grounded. Boundaries don't push love away. They make space for real love, the kind that honors both people. Protecting your peace is a sacred act. Think of your time, energy, and emotional space as a garden. Who and what you allow in will determine how that garden grows. Do you let in people who trample your flowers, or those who water your soul? Your peace is precious. Treat it like a treasure, because it is.